Hey, what's up? I'm Kendrick, and this is something that I found interesting. I usually don't get into like the gender thing and all that other kind of stuff, but this is just interesting. In this video, I'm not really going to try to give my opinion on gender or whatever, but I am going to react to what Ben Shapiro is saying. So without further ado, let's get into it.
A new tape of Andrew Tate drops in which he explains that he would prefer a well-surgery transsexual to an ugly woman.
Let me pause it right there. Andrew Tate didn't say he preferred transsexual. This is Ben Shapiro trying to cause some crap. This part I don't agree with.
Andrew Tate, as far as I know, is still being held in jail in Romania. It's unclear how that saga is going to end. He is accused, of course, of sex trafficking, of luring women to Romania and using them as cam girls and all the rest of it. But all of this is beside the point when it comes to the popularity of Andrew Tate. I've talked about Andrew Tate on the program a little.
The cam girl thing is legal, so they can't really get him on that. What they're trying to get him on is saying that he said something different than what a contract was, so therefore it's human trafficking that they came there and worked. It's very convoluted with Andrew Tate, and I think he's pretty much innocent. But time will tell. Maybe they'll come up with something that isn't getting debunked, because everything that they come up with and say about this man is like literally shut down. But they are holding him in jail, extending it 90 days here, 30 days here, 60 days there. Like if he was in America, he'd be out right now. That's all I know, because the evidence it just isn't holding up to actually prove a point.
A little bit before, and why exactly he's popular. And one of the things that I've suggested about Andrew Tate is that many of his diagnoses of modern society are not entirely wrong. Many of them, in fact, are correct. But his prognosis, his recommendation of the treatment is totally wrong. And this sort of disconnect is strange. It becomes stranger when you see some of the things that Andrew Tate has said recently. So there was a tape that emerged on the Twitters over the course of the last 48 hours of Andrew Tate talking about whether he would prefer to have sex with a male who had had many surgeries to look like a female, but still had not had bottom surgery, meaning he was still...
Let me correct it. Let me stop it again. He posed a question to somebody else. He's not saying anything. I'm talking about Andrew now. He's not actually saying this. Ben Shapiro is trying to twist it to get views on the algorithm, I guess, man. And like, I don't approve of that kind of stuff. Don't twist people's words up, Ben, because you don't like when they do it to you. That's one thing that I don't like about this.
Had the full male appendages, or a very ugly woman. And I think there is something kind of important about the fact that there are so many young men who are drawn to Andrew Tate, and then Andrew Tate says stuff like this, or said stuff like this. It's bizarre. It only makes sense in a particular cultural context. I want to get to that in a moment. Here's what Andrew Tate actually said.
I recently posted a question on Twitter asking.
Question on Twitter. He isn't saying anything.
Would you rather have sex with a transsexual, which is a legitimate 10, or a woman, which is a legitimate 1? And everyone's sitting there clicking woman, 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 because they think they're going to be gay if they do anything else. But they're not actually thinking about the question. When I say a 1 and a 10, I mean Megan Fox with a d. That's the tranny. Or Hulk Hogan with a p. That's the girl. This is the question I'm asking. Megan Fox or Hulk Hogan? So you're thinking, well, I don't want to be gay, so I just clicked the girl, the number 1, did it? You're going to f Hulk Hogan? Okay, there's a he's got mustache and muscles and shit. He's all hairy, big dude, 6'5". It's pretty gay to me. That sounds pretty gay. I don't care if it's that is gay.
And that's what he's saying. He didn't say that he would prefer the tranny. He's basically saying both are. See how Ben is trying to twist this up right now? It's like, yeah, you can't make this up, bro.
Okay, so, first of all, what? So on a variety of levels, what? So the original question that he apparently posed.
Yeah, I'm like, what, too? That was a weird question. But I get it because I understand context and understand sentence comprehension. It was the form of a question, which he gave an answer saying both are pretty bad. That's what I got out of it.
Would you rather have sex with a 1 who's a woman, or a 10 on the female scale, but is male? And so he launches into that bizarre diatribe. Now, none of this makes any sense. If you've been following Andrew Tate at all, and if you understand how popular he is.
Makes sense to me, Ben. Think about it a little bit more. Maybe listen to what I just said and then mix that into your diagnosis or whatever the hell you're doing, your reaction, whatever, because I understand it. And I think y'all understand it that's watching this.
Is you understand that what he largely bases his image around is this idea of uber masculinity. And the uber masculinity that Andrew Tate bases his sort of image around is he's ripped, he's very muscular, he has a large house or a compound in Romania, he has a lot of fancy cars, and he has a lot of beautiful women, not transsexual women, but actual like biological women who he is in charge of, and he has a harem of these women. And this is what masculinity really looks like. And then you get this bizarre fetishistic video in which
he doesn't know Andrew Tate. Those women come and go. He doesn't have a harem or anything like that. He actually has a girlfriend that he's been with for years. This is like bashing Andrew Tate. I don't know why he's doing it, because Andrew Tate is red pill just like you, Ben. I don't understand where this is coming from. I guess you just wanted views. I'm really thinking that, because you just twisted his whole question to something that it wasn't, and now you're trying to make him look bad.
Explaining that he would prefer to have sex with a male who has had many surgeries to look like Megan Fox than an unattractive woman. So what exactly is happening here? Well, none of this makes any sense. And frankly, none of our modern culture makes any sense. Unless what you realize is the reason that we are seeing the death of masculinity and the death of femininity. The reason that everything is falling into this morass of sexual chaos. And he talks about it actually at the very end there. He says, oh, it's all a sliding scale, isn't it? It's all sliding. There's no such thing as gay or straight. It's just a sliding scale. And the reason all of this is happening is because...
No, he isn't saying sliding scale. He's saying even if you find the most feminine transsexual, it's the imagery of femininity with the transsexual. But with the actual woman, yeah, there's a vagina there, but you're basically having sex with a manly woman. Like he said, hair and everything, like mustache, beard, and all that other kind of stuff. But the person actually has a vagina. It's one in the same. That's what he was trying to say. Like, basically he's trying to say to young men, find fit feminine women to have sex with, neither of the other two. I think that's what he's trying to say. I believe strongly that was the point of the question, and Ben Shapiro just doesn't get it.
We have a society that has decided to discard the notion of teleology. Okay, teleology means that things were created with a purpose. Things were created with a purpose. Whether by God or by evolutionary biology, you were created with a purpose. Now, I'm a religious person, so I believe that God created us with a purpose. And what that means is male and female, he created them. Now, you don't have to believe in the Bible in order to believe that. You can also believe that evolution created human beings sexually dichotomous in order so that we are designed to reproduce. That's literally the purpose of sexual activity in the animal kingdom, is reproduction. There's the side benefit of pleasure. It is the pleasure that leads beings of all mammalian species to reproduce. But the reproduction is the end, right? The thing toward which sex is generally oriented in the animal kingdom is reproduction, because otherwise it would be no different than baboons scratching one another or something. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, if male and female were created to do a thing, and if sex was created in order to achieve the thing, if reproduction and the one flesh union between male and female is the purpose of the thing, then masculinity and femininity are built around that act. What that means...
I agree with him 100% on everything that he's saying right now. That is the purpose. Like, I'm here, you're here, everybody's here because man and woman had sex and reproduced. Not man on man, not woman on woman. Actually, if they want a child, they would have to go to an adoption agency where a man and a woman made that child, and so on and so forth. Like, the human race does not continue without man and woman, masculine and feminine, getting together. It just doesn't.
Means is that reproduction being the point of sex, teleologically speaking, not every time you have to have sex, you're not aiming for a baby every time, but the idea is that generally speaking, sex is oriented toward the production of human beings within a male-female context, because that's the only way biologically, historically, it has happened.
And I would also say sex is a part of bonding. That can be witnessed even with chimpanzees and monkeys, our closest relatives, so to say. But you know what I'm saying? It's part of bonding and stuff like that. And the act does lead to children, so you can call it practice if you want to.
Because of that, male and female are built around this. Women were built by nature or by God, whichever you choose, in order to bear children and rear them. This is their primary reproductive function, not their only function in the world. It is their primary reproductive function. When it comes to sex, this is the purpose of sex. And for men, the purpose is to generate offspring and then to protect and defend those offspring. This is not just true for human beings. This is true for primates. This is true for literally all species that have sexual dichotomy attached to them. And so sex.
That is true. You cannot deny that. Like, you could see that in whales and things in the ocean to a certain degree. Like, not all fish, but whales, especially, and dolphins. You could see those, the ones with the bigger brains.
And masculinity and femininity were built around these roles. And that's really important because one of the things that we have done is we've exploded those roles. We've now disconnected the idea of sex from any sort of teleology. There's no purpose to sex other than whatever subjective pleasure it brings you. When you disconnect sex from teleology, things go wrong really, really quickly, and you end up with bizarre videos like this one from Andrew Tate and a lot of the other societal problems that are plaguing Western civilization.
Andrew Tate posted a question. He called it a video. And like I've already said, he tried to twist his words and stuff like that. So I don't like him for that because he doesn't like when people do that to him. He doesn't. I've seen it before. So L for you, Ben, for that part. Okay, I'm skipping a little bit ahead in the same video to another part I want to react to that basically reinforces the other part. So let's take a look at that.
Case, would you rather smash the hottest trans woman in the world or the oldest woman in the world? Honestly, bro, the oldest woman in the world, because then I wouldn't be gay.
What? You really just want me to just rip you a new one. I swear to God.
Are you like, Chase,
No.
how dare you be transphobic?
Yes, actually. What the do you mean? Yes, that was so
Because if I had
unnecessary.
sex with a trans woman, I'd be having sex with a biological man, and I don't want to do that.
The question is,
That's not what you said, though. That's fine. If that's
Because
what you
I'd
want
be
to say.
gay if I had sex
That's
with a
not
biological
gay.
man.
That's not gay.
That's
And I don't
gay.
even care if you're doing this for like whatever, but like shut the up. Actually,
I'm doing
You
it
look
for
like
what-
you have a
Hey,
need to
why-
respect
no,
his
why don't-
street
that's too far.
identity.
That's
Why
too
don't why don't you make me
That's
shut
too
the
far.
up? Because I have an opinion that differs from yours.
I'm not going to be a part of something that's starting to say like that.
She's right. I mean, that's really
But
hateful,
she's
bro.
not. She's not. It would technically be homosexual. A trans woman is a biological man. Sue me.
He's right. Like, you would be gay after you did that, regardless of what anybody says. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing, is to convince you to step into the dark side. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why women are trying to say this or like encourage it with men, because after they do that, they don't like gay men. They like being friends with gay men, so I guess they want more friends or something like that. But as a husband, they would reject you if they found out that you did that. So it's weird, right? I don't understand it, except I understand that women protect women, regardless if they're right or wrong. That's one thing that I know is a fact. So I'm guessing that they have, inducted gay men and trans women into womanhood, and now they're under their protection, their umbrella or something like that. I don't get it, bro. But let's see what Ben has to say.
Right. And of course, the women who are walking out have been told that that's not the case. They've been told that a biological man who has a bunch of surgeries to mimic the looks of a biological woman is in fact a biological woman. Now, the only way that you can come to that conclusion is if what you believe is that sex and reproduction have nothing to do with one another, right? That the only female organs that matter are not the reproductive organs, which are the ones that, by the way, typically define what is female from what is male. The way that we define a female is, in fact, an egg-producing person, right? That is the way, typically biologically, like a large reproductive cell-producing person would be a female. That is biologically how you define this thing. But we've removed that because sex and reproduction are now completely separate. And so you end up with this bizarre spectacle of actual biological women getting angry at a man for saying he does not want to have sex with a man who has a bunch of surgeries to look more like a woman. Because that's what a woman is. Once you disconnect sex from reproduction, what you end up with is the fetishistic objectification of women. The imitation of female body parts is now the same as a female. There's no difference. They are the same.
And he's right. That's basically what it comes down to. But here's the thing. Men don't separate that. It's like our thing is to produce children and take care of women. That's what heterosexual men do. We know that's not a woman, so that's like, why would we do that? Sex is sex, I guess. To have sex, for a man to have sex with another man, that's gay. That's gay. And it really holds no purpose but to make you gay for the world to judge you. It's like, why do that in the first place? You will be gay after you do it. That's it. That's it for you. That's how you will be defined after that. And like I said, like women, once they know that you do it, your chances of reproduction and all of that, it goes down after that. So why would you try to encourage this kind of behavior with men? I think the point I'm trying to make is, why is society trying to blur the lines between what is one thing and what is another? It's crazy. It's not helping anything. It's like destroying a lot of things in society.
But the destruction of the distinction between the sexes, and guess who that hurts, ladies? Predominantly you.
Yes, ladies, it hurts you more because there's more women than men. Hopefully you know this. And then bigger percentage of gay men that you don't want, on top of beta and simp men that you don't want. You're shrinking your dating pool and marriage prospects by encouraging this. And here's the thing. Even if you think you're only talking to adults, kids are hearing this. So young boys are growing up before they even reach sexual maturity. You done swayed them in the other direction from what you're looking for. Doesn't make sense at all. All right, y'all. I could go on with this video and just go through the whole damn thing with Ben, but it was 1 hour and 8 minutes long, so I decided not to do that. I just found what he was saying about Andrew Tate and the point he was trying to make with the distinction of straight and gay and reproduction and all of that. I have nothing against gay people. Do what you want to do, be trans or whatever, but at the same time, don't come down on people or try to make people feel bad because they don't want to participate in sexual acts with you. That's crazy to me. I don't get that. Like, that's not cool. Anyway, let me know what you think about it. Is Ben wrong for trying to twist the words of Andrew Tate? Did I make sense on how I try to explain what Andrew Tate was really trying to propose with the question? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe for more. Peace.